old school knowledge, but people still believe it to this day, is that when a child is crying at night, that you should leave it to cry itself to sleep, because that will teach it how to soothe itself. And here's the thing, it will not teach it how to soothe itself. So when a baby is in distress and crying, crazy crying, and you leave it to soothe itself, it actually isn't soothing itself. It's going into a shutdown response because it has gone too far up on that sympathetic fight, flight, kind of that nervous energy. I don't feel well, something's not right, I'm in chaos. It hits this threshold at the top where it cannot handle it anymore. And then rather than it coming down slowly, which is what we want, it just shuts off. And it goes and it dives into this shutdown response, this freeze response of the parasympathetic. Now I'm going to put another little sidebar to this, and I'll talk about this more in future vlogs, but the nerve that is responsible for that shutdown is called the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve. This is a nerve that's getting a lot of attention right now in the scientific press, because we're finding that with a lot of the practices that teach people how to breathe and to calm themselves down, to bring that heart rate down, it's tapping into that vagus nerve. But what isn't often talked about is why do we need to do
trauma,
this at all?
wait,
Why, how to breathe and to calm the shutdown.
The pictures here,
That
one is the brain
teach people how to
up,
breathe and to calm themselves
and then
down,
on the back side of the brain the trauma is stored.
But what isn't
So another technique would be to tap the back of your neck, like quite hard, like tap the back of your neck where your brain and your neck meet and a bit below, and that's how you get information out.
Talked about is why do we need to do this at all? Why do we need to, as adult human beings of our age, why do we have to learn how to self-soothe and bring ourselves down? And the reason is because when we were little, if we weren't taught how to self-soothe in relationship, in co-regulation with our primary caregiver, it doesn't have to be a mom, it doesn't have to be a dad, it could be a nanny, a grandma, an auntie. If we don't have that nurturing that teaches us how to come out of our distress slowly, we will default to shut down, right? We will default to just shutting down. And we don't want that, because what that does is it doesn't allow a part of our vagus nerve, which is called the ventral vagal portion. I'll talk about that in a second. It's not allowing the more social engagement part that actually helps us come down slowly. It doesn't teach that baby how to do that. So if I go back, baby is born, they come out.
I would also say that this can be a problem with young new mothers with their first child, because they would typically not listen to their intuition as strongly and follow the doctor's advice, which doctor's advice used to be and probably still could be to cry it out. So although there's the new style coming forth, like I would say it is especially new moms have to understand this part.
They can default to shutting down really quickly. What they can't do is regulate their
And
heart
if this
rate.
happened to you as a baby, then the TRE exercise that we're going to do on Saturday will release from your muscles the tension, stress, or trauma.
Come down slowly. And these two branches, fast and slow, are both governed by the vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve, it comes out of our brainstem. So if you put your hand behind there by...
That's what I meant. That's where you tap your hand. So all the information is released from that brainstem. Very healing. Also, let the sun shine on that part of your neck. Or put essential oils. So all of the three
base of your brain, there's this nerve. It's this massive nerve. It's the 10th cranial nerve. It's one of the biggest, it is the biggest nerve in the body, and then it goes everywhere. So one branch goes behind the brainstem, and it goes below our diaphragm to the guts and to the bladder and to the reproductive system and all those good pieces down below. Okay, so I'll say that again. The back part goes behind the brainstem into the parts below the diaphragm. When we're born, that part is functioning like on fire. That's why babies can poop and they can pee, and that is working. Granted, they come full term, right? Preemies are another thing, another vlog. That one's working. And that one is unmyelinated. For those of you science geeks,
just like in between, like if you're experiencing digestion problems such as constipation and no energy, no digestion, this can be part of it. But on the other hand, it's like easy to solve. So basically, there's some yoga exercises that I can send to you. You lay down on your tummy and you lay down on your back, and then you lay down on your tummy and you lay on your back. This on the floor, right? And this brings energy back to you. But spiritually, it means like you're not letting go, you're holding on, you're not digesting life, and you're not letting go. You're constipated, literally. and yeah, to eat like peanut butter, fibers, some of the fruits, yeah, like this. But anyway, it is trauma response whenever you have that problem, digestion and constipation.
unmyelinated means that that nerve is a bit more primitive, it's a bit more quick and clumsy to respond. If you've ever fainted or you've ever seen something that has shocked you and you just shut down, or you feel a little woozy and then you faint, that's that nerve kicking in. It's shutting your system down to preserve you from the threat that you are either perceiving or actually having being given to you. Okay, so that's one portion of this vagus nerve. The other portion comes out of the front of the brainstem, and it goes to everything above the diaphragm. The facial muscles, the ear, the parts of our mouth that govern our sound, our prosody, our ability to have inflection in our voice, up and down, around and deep. The fact that I was just able to do those different things is because of this, partially because of this vagus nerve. The other thing, though, that this nerve does is it goes directly to our heart and it brings the heart rate down slowly. Okay?
Yeah, so heart area is where we do a lot of the healing. Nerve, like a healed person will have a soft heart. It's also the cause of heart attacks, by the way. So men in midlife or women experiencing this, if this is you, if you feel tension, clamping, whatever, yeah, or you don't feel your heart, that would be mainly women, then this, you need healing. Also to prevent any kind of serious ailment. So you can contact me, just really DM me if this is you and I need to help you. It's easy, okay? It's done within a session or two.
Is myelinated. So again, myelinated means that that nerve is going to be very smart and it's going to be very refined. It's going to bring ourselves down. It's going to calm us down in a slow, modulated fashion, not in a shut down fashion. Okay, it's a bit more intelligent. But babies, when they're born, that is not working at all. Which is why we should not be leaving babies alone to cry and soothe themselves, because they have no clue how. And the way they learn it is through co-regulation with a primary caregiver that has...
And this explains also why the relationship with the coach is very important, to do the regulation that wasn't done previously.
On board already. All right. So bottom line, when babies are born, they're fresh, they're new, they're experiencing so much, and as adults, we need to teach them how to stay in a more calm state, how to regulate them down out of the stimulus. What that does in the long term is it teaches them how to have a healthy nervous system. And in the future, it means they're going to have, and we've studied this in research, less depression, less anxiety, less addiction, less chronic health problems. So many things are related to not having this healthy vagus nerve, parasympathetic, sympathetic balance in the nervous system. I'm going to keep it there. I just want to cover that part. I'll dive deeper into future vlogs on this topic, but the reason I wanted to put this out there is a few days ago I heard someone say to someone else on a live podcast to just walk away from babies when they're crying.
Oh my
And that's
God.
wrong information.
Jesus,
And we
you
need
see,
to understand that those
it's
are the ones that
still
they need help,
relevant.
they need to learn. It's not going to smarten them up and toughen them up if we leave them to cry. By doing this, by teaching them how to soothe when they're babies, in future they will be able to self-regulate themselves, and they won't need drugs and alcohol and tactics to help calm themselves down. They'll just be healthy human beings, which is exactly what we need to breed in our world right now. We need more healthy human beings that don't
Healthy
need to spend
inside
an
and
entire
out.
lifetime
Mental
trying
health
to fix
and
themselves because
physical
they didn't have
health.
that good early beginning. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. If you're new to
Heart
me, you
health,
haven't subscribed to
okay?
this
Heart
channel,
health,
this YouTube
guys.
channel,
We're on a love revolution, okay? We know we have all the knowledge. Well, now we need it to come in. And the cats are on my roof fighting.